did, and tonight's not going to be any different.
When you talk about the Shaw Eagles, they're #1 in the state. They're number 18 nationally. I don't think there's any question about their overall ability, but they possess perhaps the biggest wealth of skill position players in the state of Louisiana.
Well, that's really their strength. They got a great quarterback in Vance Joseph, 3 great junior running backs that all of a sudden these 3 guys, Bussy, White, and Chester, have come on like gangbusters, and then an excellent receiving core. They're really tough offensively.
Defensively, a couple of name players, one who is going to be a phenomenal player. He already is, but he'll be recruited by everyone, and another who is a quarterback in the secondary.
That's Pat Riley. He's an outstanding football player. He's about 6'6", 235 pounds, and he rushes just as good as anybody in the NFL. And then, of course, you got Ron Robinson, a premier defensive back, who'll probably go to any major college that he wants to.
The Covington Lions, Jack Salter, the dean of coaches not only in Quad A but statewide, and what a job he's done over the years. This is a team, however, Henry, that did not expect to be in this position.
Well, Ken, this is a team with only 11 seniors, and that's very unusual for a Covington team. They usually have 25 to 30 seniors. This team started off slow, lost its first 2 ball games, won 7 in a row, lost the last game of the year to Slidell, but they're here tonight to challenge #1 in the state, and that's Shaw.
Offensively, they've got one of the best running backs in the state in Paul Nixon.
An outstanding football player, a slashing runner who has gained over 2,000 yards in the last 2 years in his sophomore and junior season. He's going to be something to reckon with.
Defensively, they've had points scored on them, but it's not because of their 2 fine inside linebackers.
Well, they really do. They got 2 really fine linebackers. One of them is Demetrius Montana, and I'll guarantee I'd go to war with Montana anytime. He's an outstanding football player, and he will pass a lick.
And the other, of course, is Mendheim, who's a fine player in his own right. Bob Pavlovich joins us tonight as well. Bob will be having some halftime guesting this evening. And Bob, tell us about the show you have for us.
Some of the things we'll be seeing at halftime tonight, Kenny. An interview with the commissioner of LHSAA, Tommy Henry. He talked with our executive producer, Rick Sassnet, a little earlier today. He's going to tell us about the Gatorade Football Classic, the state championship you'll be seeing here on Cox Cable on Channel 22. We'll also recap the statistics and highlights from the first half.
And when you talk about state championships, these are 2 teams here tonight, one of whom could very well be there.
Very much so, especially with the West Bank connection here with Shaw High School. Some of the fans before the game were talking about perhaps a Shaw West Jefferson state championship, but that's dreaming right now. We got to finish what's on the field tonight.
The Lions will have a lot to say about that. Shaw and Covington, second round state playoffs, and we'll be back right after this.
State Auto Insurance has financing available with as low as 10% down and free telephone quotes available now. If you drive, having liability insurance is the law. Make it a law you can live with. Call State Auto Insurance for low down payments and easy monthly terms. State Auto Insurance, 362-9788 or 835-3445. Everyone's going to State Auto Insurance for lots of good reasons, like low down payments and easy monthly terms. Call State Auto Insurance, 362-9788 or 835-3445.
Thinking about Shaw last year, looking at your team last year, you lost 2 good backs in Denenberg and Calise. How do you rate these 2 guys? They're just juniors. Really, 3 guys have come on as well. Not only, Bussy and White, but also Chester. How do you rate these guys?
Well, in fact, you can add another one, too, Isaac Wilson. He had 100 yards last week rushing. He's only a sophomore. Those 4 kids complement one another very well. I think we were in a position last year where we had 2 backs, and they were featured because they had to have the ball. I think the way it is now, we're able to shuttle fresh backs in, and all 4 of them have different attributes that make them good backs, and it's been a good situation for us.
Okay, I'm going to play a little word association game with you, okay? Vance Joseph, first thing that comes to your mind.
He's a winner, Henry. He's a winner. He's been in a lot of big games, and his 1-loss record speaks for itself. And, we lost him in the middle of the season, and it looked bad for a while, and we got him back, and just tickled to have him back, and I'm glad he's on my side.
Okay. Hank, good luck tonight, and the Eagles, we hope you take them all away. We're going to turn it back now to Ken Trahan and Coach Jack Salter of the Covington Lions. Thank you.
Jack, not a typical year at Covington. This is not a senior-laden team. This is not a team that was expected to go this far, and yet here you are.
No, our kids, we're real proud of them. They've done a super job all year long. We started off awfully bad, and they hung in there real good, and I tell you what, our coaching staff hung in there, and we were real proud of them. We were happy to be one of 16 teams left and with an opportunity to play Shaw here tonight.
When you look at your pre-district schedule, I don't think there's any question it prepared you extremely well for the task at hand. Teams like Denham Springs and Picayune, excellent football teams.
Definitely. You know, both of them finished the season 8-2, and Denham Springs playing tonight also, just like we are.
When you look at your team, Coach, we talked about the fact that you weren't expected to go this far. Going in with a young team, you talk about one of the keys, and the fact that your offensive line came together, a very young unit, and some problems early, but the fact that they came together had a lot to do with your success.
Our whole team has improved a great deal, but if there's one area in particular that really improved, it was our offensive line. They have made, 5, 6 of them are juniors, 6 out of the 7 up there. We have good size, good speed, but they were a poor football team back when we played Denham Springs, but our offensive line coach has done a super job with them.
For the benefit of the people in Orleans and Jefferson parishes who haven't seen Paul Nixon play all year, he's accumulated some great numbers. Tell us something about him.
Well, Paul's a junior, and last year he had 1,300 yards as a sophomore. He weighs 195 pounds, benches about 350, and squats about 450. So he has the strength, and he also runs about a 4.5 40. You know, he's like Vincent Alexander was, and we said he came from heaven, and I think that's where Paul came from. But he's got some great moves. You know, he's got great vision. He's very quick. You know, he can stop on a dime and cut it back. So he's been our leader, so we just have to stay with him.
To beat the Eagles here tonight, a host of talented skill position players, what's it going to take?
Well, they have a lot of great players, both defensively and offensively. So I think what we have to do, we have to keep the ball out of their hands. We play ball control, and our offense is going to have to move the ball on their defense and keep it away from Vance Joseph and his group, because once they get it, they play ball control, but they hit the big play quite often, have 4 great backs, and I guess their offensive line, too, has done a super job.
The Dean of Coaches in Louisiana, folks, right here, Jack Salter. Jack, you've done a wonderful job over the years. Maybe one of your best jobs this year. Best of luck to you tonight. And win, lose, or draw, congratulations.
Well, Kenny, thank you very much, and we welcome the opportunity to be here.
Jack Salter of the Covington Lions. And we'll be back with tonight's opening kickoff right after this.
Cox Cable Jefferson Parish is bringing customer service closer to home. We've opened our brand new full-service customer service center on Veterans Highway in Kenner. Our centers are conveniently located with extended hours for the working person. We can take care of anything, such as converter box exchanges, simple billing inquiries and payments, or answering questions about basic cable service or premium channels. It's all under one roof at a Cox Cable Service Center. Just one more way we're working harder to serve you better.
Ken Trahan along with Henry Rando, and the toss of the coin has just taken place. Covington won the toss. They declined the option, interestingly enough, and Shaw will receive the football and defend the north end zone. Henry, we'd like to take this opportunity to let the fine people of this area know that this game is being brought to you courtesy of Fayard Insurance and Cox Cable. Jefferson and Orleans parishes here this evening, and we're certainly proud to have them as sponsors, and we appreciate their support of high school football.
Well, Kenny, it's a great night for football over here on the West Bank, and we have 2 great football teams, 2 teams who have been in this position a lot in the last 10, 15 years. You got the Covington Lions, who have won a state championship back in '75 and who have played for state championships the last couple of years. And what can we say about the Shaw Eagles? A great football team and a great program under Hank Tierney.
Well, the Eagles #1 statewide in the Quad A poll, and they're ranked 18th nationally as well, which is extremely impressive. Of course, John Curtis has been ranked highly nationwide all season long as well. Out of AAA, they're ranked 8th in the country nationwide, as well as #1 in AAA in the state. But when you talk about programs, as we mentioned in the opening, you talk about top 5 programs, at least top 5, maybe better than that, for the 80s. Certainly these 2 teams have to be in that number, along with Neville and Ruston.
No question about it. You got to put Covington and Shaw right there in the top 5. Coach Hank Tierney has been the head coach at Shaw for 7 years. He's got a record now of 70-15 coming into tonight, and ironically, 12 of those 15 losses has been in his home stadium. He's really been a great road team.
Yes, and unbeaten at Gormley, as we've documented a number of times. As the colors are presented, we'll pause for our national anthem. Shaw High School Band, and the colors presented by the Shaw Color Guard. When you talk about parallels, it's really amazing, Henry. Both of these schools had been to state championship games twice in the 80s. You may recall Covington losing to Errett in the early 80s before losing to Shaw just a couple of years ago. The Eagles, of course, state champions 2 years ago when they defeated this Covington High School team, and then last year losing to the Ruston Bearcats 28-14. So indeed, some amazing parallels. They're used to being in this position, and reaching the round of 16 is nothing new for either of these schools.
Well, you know, both schools have been really blessed, and we were talking about this early. You know, it's a funny situation. When you play Covington, you don't only play Jack Salter and those 50 dress players. You play the whole community of the city of Covington, and I think that that's an interesting point because they've had such great support over the years playing in their stadium, and I think it's to Shaw's advantage to get them out of Covington and playing them over here at Horse Memphis tonight.
As the Lions take the field, they dressed in their white uniforms, gold headgear, black numerals, and gold pants, and here come the Shaw Eagles, the #1 team in the state. Shaw dressed in their green jerseys, white numerals, white headgear, and silver pants. Well, if you talk about coaching staffs, we mentioned Jack Salter, the dean of coaches statewide. Amazingly, Henry, this man, in his 28th year, 217 victories, only 89 defeats, and 8 ties. And he's a terrific head coach. He's had good players, but I think certainly one of the keys to their success is the fact that he's had a staff that has stayed together for a long, long time.
Oh, well, I'm very close friends with Allie Smith and also Jack Loop, 2 members of his staff, and they've been there forever. That's the only job those 2 guys have ever had. Both of them have had opportunities to leave and go elsewhere, but they've chose to stay with the Covington Lions and Jack Salter.
Continuity is so important, as you well know from your experience in coaching, and certainly the Lions have that.
Well, it really is. You're right, Ken. I think once you get a staff that stays together, you know each other's moves, and things become almost automatic. You know exactly what you're going to do at practice. You know the schedule. You know how to handle the kids. The philosophies just fall in line, and it just there's a unifying effect that you have once you have a staff that's been together over several campaigns.
Well, the weather's perfect here on the West Bank. It is brisk, it is cool, but the wind is no factor. Temperature won't drop during the game, but these guys love this kind of weather.
Well, it's football weather. You know, when you get down here, plus you're in the playoffs, and this is what you work for. You know, when you think about the hot weather in August and the 2-a-day practices and that, this is what these young people play for, and that's an opportunity to be called state champions.
Frank Brown, number 17, will kick it off. Deep for Shaw will be Jeff Chasson, Carlos Jones, and NRL Chester. It comes to one of the short men at the 25-yard line to the 30. That's Wilson, 35, 40, and out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. And we see the speed immediately of Isaac Wilson, the sophomore, backup running back, backup quarterback. We'll see a lot of them here this evening.
But you got to credit the tackles he had, number 43, Ron Rosier. Rosier, really.
Rosser.
Rosser?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. I ought to know that, because we had a Rosser, a Roser and a Rosser.
Eagles with excellent field position. They'll start their first possession from their own 47, first down and 10 behind Vance Joseph, the senior quarterback. Kendall Bussey and Murray White, the running backs, receivers on either side. And Joseph surprisingly wants to throw deep on first down. Just out of the reach of the intended receiver.
Well,
and that's Carlos Jones.
And he can fly. Coach Hank Tierney alluded to that prior to the ball game. He said, I'm going to tell you, he says, when you line up number 9, you're going to see Vance Joseph just air it out here. And boy, he puts it right there, man, one step. And I'll guarantee you, Shaw would have been on the board here, first play of the ball game. Jones can fly.
You can see the separation he started to create there. Jones comes out now. Dennis Griffin, the leading receiver for the Eagles, is in. Split wide to the left. Casson is inside of him on second down and 10 yards to go on the option. Joseph has a lot of room. 50, 45, first down inside the Covington 40 to about the 37-yard line. Vance Joseph, who runs the option as well as anyone in recent years, with a possible exception of his brother Mickey. As we look at the Shaw offense, Dennis Griffin, the outstanding receiver. Austin Hilario, a familiar name. His father John, former Speaker of the House Chris Rowe, Frank Tully, Mike LeBlanc, All-State player a year ago, and Johnny Fayard, Vance Joseph, Murray White, Kendall Bussey, and Jeff Chasson. We'll also see Chester and Wilson in the backfield on first and 10 from the 37-yard line. Call it the 38. Off the veer, straight ahead, breaking one tackle and getting across the 35 to about the 34-yard line is Murray White. White, the junior, at 5'10", 180 pounds, and 7 carries for 78 yards and a touchdown against Carver. As we look at the defense for Covington, and that is not the Covington defense. Those are Shaw players. Our apologies. And we'll show you the Covington defense as soon as we can. On second down and 6 yards to go. Joseph calling the play at the line of scrimmage here. And Joseph pitches. This is Bussey, Kendall Bussey. Inside the 30 and down to about the 26-yard line for a first down before the free safety, Chuck Saba, the junior, comes up to make the stop.
Well, Ken, you alluded to him audibly on the line of scrimmage, and this is one of the things that experience, there's just no substitute for experience. Vance Joseph, you're going to see him audibilize and run the outside veer pitch there, and he pitches it to 34, Kendall Bussey. What he's going to do here, if you watch on your screen, you're going to see where he's going to adjust the play by the linebackers.
From the 26-yard line, this is Murray White. Murray White diving to about the 20. A pickup of 6. It'll be second down and 4. Joseph Honore getting a hand on the ball carrier, and now the defensive line of the Covington Lions. And this is a pretty young football team, but they do have 3 seniors up front. And Morris, Rosser, and Honore. These linebackers are outstanding, led by Demetrius Montana. Second down and about 4 yards to go. The option, Joseph keeps, cuts inside, he's loose. Inside the 10, inside the 5, he's in. Touchdown, Vance Joseph, and the Eagles quickly break on top.
And Kenny, I'm going to tell you right now, if Covington does not put anybody on the quarterback, they're in for a long, long, long night, because this is exactly what we saw earlier in the spring. I was there, and I'm going to tell you, Vance Joseph could run from here to the St. Tammany Parish line. You're going to see it here, the outside veer keep, and he does it as well as anybody. There's a missed tackle there, and of course, Joseph just outruns everybody to the end zone.
Mike Arnold to try the extra point. Flags are down, the kick is up, and it is good. However, there are flags on the play, and we'll await this particular situation. The preliminary call against Covington. The extra point will stand. As we see the penalty against the Covington Lions, extra point is good. So a timeout on the field with 10:03 to play in the first quarter. On the West Bank, second round state playoffs, our score, the Shaw Eagles 7 and the Covington Lions nothing. And we'll be back with more right after this.
Security, the quality or state of being secure. Freedom from fear or anxiety. That's what Fayard Insurance is all about. If you're in the market for automobile, home, commercial, or life and health insurance, Fayard Insurance is the only name you need to remember. Fayard Insurance, one of New Orleans' top full-service agencies, specializes in automobile insurance. They offer honest, knowledgeable, personal service at low competitive prices. Let Fayard Insurance tailor your next policy to fit your needs with a flexible down payment and easy monthly notes. Don't get lost in the hustle and bustle of bigger insurance agencies when Fayard Insurance can work with you individually before and after the sale. Fayard Insurance also offers title transfer service to save you time and hassle. Fayard Insurance Agency, 5421 Lapalco Boulevard in Marrero. Call 340-8616. That's 340-8616 for a free quote.
.03 to play, first quarter, and the Shaw Eagles have a 7-0 lead over the Covington Lions. Covington assessed a 15-yard penalty for legal participation following the extra point, and as a result, Mike Arnold will kick off from midfield. And back deep to receive the kick for the Covington Lions is number 23, Kyle Washington. Washington deep in his end zone, and he'll stay there if he's smart. No, he elects to come out, and he's in trouble. And the ball comes loose, and the Eagles have it.
Boy, that is a bad break for Covington, because now all of a sudden, being down 7-0 and getting the quick turnover, Ron Robinson is credited with the recovery. You're going to see it here. Washington comes deep out of his end zone, is hit here by a host of Shaw Eagles. The ball's going to come popping out of the crowd right here, right now. But you see the ball up and over the Shaw people. You're going to see Robinson come on in here and cover the ball.
To live action. The dive on first down off right tackle for a few, and that's in Errol Chester in there for the first time, the multi-talented junior. Gain of 3, it'll be second and 7. Credit the hit to number 20, Clarence Heigl, along with number 14, Chad Bansparther. As we look at the officials from the Baton Rouge Association, Jerry Roberts, Richard Morales, Lucas Silvio, Harold Newman, Gerald Didier, and Tom Germany. On second down and 7 yards to go, Shaw looking to stretch their early lead. Split backs behind Joseph. And Chester is hit and dropped. Short gain, maybe 2, and that's all. The Covington defense stiffens here. As well they must if they want to stay in this game early. David Morris on the stop.
Well, you're just going to see it's the straight dive play, Ken, right off the left guard and tackle. And one of the things you don't want to have happen to your team here, and that's to go down 14-0 early in the first quarter. That's the worst thing that can happen to Covington tonight.
So we look at the Eaglettes on third down and 5 yards to go. Straight ahead and close to about the 1-yard line. Isaac Wilson, and the Eagles have a first down and goal to go from that point. Well, it didn't take Shaw very long. They scored in 1 minute 37 seconds the first time they had it, and they're close again.
And really nice blocking up front by Chris Bro and Frank Tolley, Mike LeBlanc, and Johnny Fayard on that right side. They are doing an excellent job of controlling the line of scrimmage.
Chasson wide right, everyone tight otherwise. On first down, goal to go Eagles from the Covington 1-yard line. This is Joseph for his second touchdown. And the Eagles lead it 13-0.
And they really made it look easy, Ken, after the turnover. They take the ball. You're going to see right here on your screen, they're going to take the ball and hand it off right off the left guard and tackle, and he just walks into the end zone.
Mike Arnold to try to make it 14-0 here out of the hold of Terry Joseph. And he's got it. 8:37 to play in the first quarter with our score. The Archbishop Shaw Eagles 14 and the Covington Lions nothing. We'll be back with more first quarter action right after this.
A master of the sweet science versus the hands of stone. Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran are ready to rumble one more time. Duran won the brawl in Montreal, then Sugar crushed the hands of stone. December 7th, Top Rank presents the rubber match. Leonard, Duran, 3.
8:37 to play, first quarter. Shaw with a quick 14-0 lead. Hans Joseph with his second score of the game from 1 yard out, capping a 15-yard drive in 4 plays. And Mike Arnold will kick it off for the Eagles, and he hits it good again. And they pitch it back this time, and see if he can have a little bit more success this time. Not much. To the 20-yard line is Kyle Washington, and he finds a host of Covington players. Eric Dumas, the person who fielded the kickoff, interestingly enough, he pitches to Washington, so it's obvious they want the ball in Washington's hands despite the miscue on the first kick return.
Well, you're going to see Washington get the ball here, and he just kind of fumbles around with it and tries to find some running room. There is none there. And then you're going to see just a host of green jerseys converge upon the runner. The interesting fact right now is that Covington is behind 14-0, and this is the first offensive play.
Patrick Alexander is the lone setback. Nixon out on the wing, and they give it to the wingman, and that's Michelle straight ahead. About 3, and then driven straight back by big Sean Jones at 6'3", 235 pounds, and the junior. Ron Michelle, the captain and two-way performer for the Lions. Best receiver on the team, had a fine game a week ago both ways for the Lions in their victory over Errant.
You just wonder what's going through the Covington coaching staff's mind right now, Ken, because they're down 14-0 with just 8 minutes remaining. I mean, only 4 minutes have gone by. Whether or not you want to stay with your game plan this early, I know there's plenty of time, but they can't get in a scoring match with Shaw.
Second down and 6 yards to go. And they run a counter play here with Patrick Alexander. Alexander close to a first down at about the 30-yard line. That's where he needed to get, and we might have a measurement here. Let's see. Nope, first down. So the Lions on their first possession need just 2 plays to get a first down. That's the senior Patrick Alexander, and if the name sounds familiar, it should. His older brother Vincent Alexander, the former Covington star and Southern Mississippi star as well.
Well, don't you find it very interesting, the first 2 running plays, Nixon has not touched the ball.
Very interesting indeed. Paul Nixon, the leading rusher back in a particular district, and he is not in the game right now. On first down, the give is 2. 34 straight ahead, maybe 2 off the left side, and again, Sean Jones is there to make the stop on Eric Bullock. Bullock at 5'11", 160 pounds, and a junior, and you have to wonder, where is Paul Nixon? As we look at these Shaw cheerleaders.
Well, Mike Muller made the tackle, number 77, 5'7", 200-pound senior, plays a great 3 technique over here on the left defensive side next to number 41, Patrick Riley.
High formation on second down and 8 yards to go. And the pitch, this is Bullock again across the 35 to about the 36-yard line. Ruben Rodriguez, the outside linebacker, on the stop for the Eagles. And the Lions will have it 3rd and 4.
Well, there you see Bullock getting the pitch on the option, the tackle being made by Ruben Ruiz, the outside linebacker.
Rodriguez and Charlie Camp.
Camp's a tough football player inside. Him and Brett Adams really do an outstanding job of controlling the middle for the Eagles.
On 3rd down and 4 yards to go. Again, the split backs behind Mike Rogers, who wants to throw. Quick drop, stops, looks, throws way over the head of the intended receiver, Ron Michelle. And the Lions will have to kick it away.
And a nice job by the secondary of Ron Robinson and David Lightfoot, as well as Ruben Rodriguez out there. They did a really great job of covering the Twins receivers. And I really believe that Mike Rogers just threw the ball wisely, I think, threw the ball away. And we have the first punting situation of our ball game tonight, Ken.
And those chores will fall to number 10, Eric Dumas, who averaged 31 yards a week ago. Deep for Shaw, the ever-dangerous Inner Earl Chester. Had a big kick return for a touchdown against Rummel earlier this year to win a game. Dumas, wobbly, hits at the 35 and takes a very good Covington bounce. And he'll be down to about the 27-yard line, and that's where the Eagles will start their 3rd possession from with 5:51 to play first quarter. Number 1 Eagles already lead at 14-0.
I think this series is probably as critical of a series as you're going to find in this football game. It's early in the ball game, but Covington is going to have to do something. There you see Coach Joe Sciro telling Pat Riley a few technique problems there, or exactly what the Covington offensive line is doing.
And it's Joseph, the quarterback. Again, the split backs behind him on first down. This is Kendall Bussey, and flags are down, and this play will be blown dead, and this will work against the Shaw Eagles. Legal procedure, and that'll cost Shaw 5 yards. Again, this crew from the Baton Rouge area, same as the crew we had last week, the Honorable Slidell game. There's the signal, illegal procedure against the Eagles, so it'll be first down at 15 yards to go.
Kenny, like I was saying before, I think that this series is going to be very critical from the standpoint of Shaw getting a early lead like this. Sometimes you kind of lose your concentration, and as a result of that, you really could have problems later on in the ball game. So it's going to be interesting to see if Shaw can keep their intensity up with this early lead.
And Terry Joseph is checked into the game at wide receiver number 15, and on first down they run Kendall Bussey across the 25 to about the 26-yard line. Bussey gets back 3, possibly 4 of the penalty yards there. It'll be second down and about 11.
Just a counter play out of the split backs, faking to White and giving to Bussey. Bussey is really a load, fans. He's 6'3", 215-pound junior, and just an outstanding athlete. A very good basketball player, I might add.
Second down and about 12 yards to go. Griffin back in the game at wide receiver. Joseph rolling, looking for Griffin. Pulls up, throws, and he overthrows Dennis Griffin. Griffin was open at about the 45-yard line. Coverage offered by Eric Dumas, but the pass was off the mark.
Yeah, that was just a bad throw by Joseph, and he knows it. I guarantee you they'll come back and run that again because they gave a real nice cushion to Griffin, and Griffin ran about a 15-yard down and out, and had the ball been thrown a little bit higher, he'd have been able to make that catch. So we'll see him come back to that play.
Eagles are slow to get a play in the game here with Dennis Griffin, and they're going to have to rush this one to get it off on third down and 12. Griffin wide right, Chasson is wide left. Joseph off the quick snap. Rolling, in trouble. Joseph is escaping trouble. Joseph gets it blocked, and he's open. He has a first down and more. He's out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. And give Kendall Bussey, number 34, a lot of credit for a big block, and he's a little bit shaken up as a result. He hurt his shoulder, I do believe.
Well, you're right, Kenny. You're going to see Joseph's going to scramble around here, and watch number 34 in your picture, Bussey. He makes a big block right there and breaks Joseph for a long run and a first down. Demetrius Montana knocks him out of bounds there.
Well, no, actually it was Montana that got blocked by Bussey. Excellent block by Bussey, who did get shaken up on the play, and he is replaced by Isaac Wilson in the backfield. Officials are asking the Shaw team to move back off the sideline. Just another dimension that Shaw possesses, the quarterback with good feet.
Well, this is something that you're going to see. I think it's very interesting. The Baton Rouge officials are telling the Shaw players to move back. It's really hard to move back because you can't see well, you can see the restraining line, but between the 40s, it's kind of rubbed out. The players are not supposed to be in that box at all.
That's why play is being held up here. They're satisfied now, and the Eagles play at first and 10 from their own 47-yard line. This is Isaac Wilson to about midfield. Pickup of 3. Finding the going a little bit tough is Joseph Honore, 87, along with Blake Menheim, number 40. Make the stop for the Lions. It'll be second down and about 6 yards to go.
One of the things that I think you're going to have to see here is whether or not Covington's going to continue to play man-to-man in the secondary. And if they are, then that puts a lot of pressure on the linebackers to make the tackle on Joseph.
And Isaac Wilson breaks into the clear. And what a move by Isaac Wilson. To the 7-yard line, 43 yards, first and goal Eagles.
And really the touchdown-saving tackle is by number 23, Kyle Washington. What a great job here. You're going to see there's a great move there, and I guarantee you, Kenny, Isaac Wilson really shows what he's made of, and he's just another young back, just a sophomore, and Shaw again is knocking on the door.
The 7-yard line, first and goal with 4:10 to play in the quarter. Harry Joseph wide left, Vance Joseph barking signals. 2 tight ends, and they give to Isaac Wilson, dragged down at about the 3. Pickup of 3 or 4 yards on the play. It'll be second down and goal. Joseph Honore on the stop. We talked about it in the pregame, a wealth of skill position players, and we're seeing them all in the early going for the Eagles.
And Kenny, Vance Joseph has not made a bad call tonight. It's amazing so far how well he's read the Covington 6-2 defense, and he's really put the pressure on the Covington linebackers by audibling on a line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and goal, straight up touchdown, Isaac Wilson, and the Eagles lead it 20-0. Give credit to Chris Alario, number 50, for a big block.
Well, you're going to see it right here. Wilson just takes the handoff, and I mean there's a big hole there. You see number 50, number 71, Mike LeBlanc making a key block there also, Johnny Fayard, 81, and the Eagles take a commanding 20-0 lead. And Kenny, I'm going to tell you right now, they may get 60 before it's over with if Covington continues to play the defense the way they are.
Flags are down. Mike Arnold's kick is good again, and we'll check the flags. As Arnold has been a busy man, both the extra point department and the kickoff department thus far this evening. This one may go against the Eagles, and they may have to do it again.
Well, Ken, that was a 7-play drive for 73 yards. 3-yard run by Wilson.
Illegal procedure against the Eagles, so they'll have to kick it again from 5 yards further back. Well, the silhouette here on the West Bank. A wonderful night, just a wonderful night for football. And it's been wonderful for the Eagles thus far.
You took the words off my mouth. That's exactly what I was going to say. It's a beautiful night for the Shaw Eagles.
That's right. All right, Mike Arnold again to try the extra point. And again, he is hit it. 3:29 to play first quarter from Haas-Memphis Stadium. The Archbishop Shaw Eagles 21, the Covington Lions nothing. Back with more right after this.
Hurricanes, the most powerful and destructive force on Earth. In 1988 alone, they caused nearly $10 billion in damage. And the effects of hurricanes aren't limited to where they reach land, sometimes causing devastation days later and hundreds of miles from where they first hit. The Weather Channel Tropical Update keeps you informed once every hour with concise, accurate information on the development, movement, and potential impact of these storms. In the tropical storm and hurricane season, tune in each day for the Tropical Update at 10 before the hour, only on the Weather Channel.
Amstate Auto Insurance has financing available with as low as 10% down and free telephone quotes available now. If you drive, having liability insurance is the law. Make it a law you can live with. Call Amstate Auto Insurance for low down payments and easy monthly terms. Amstate Auto Insurance, 362-9788 or 835-3445. Everyone's going to Amstate Auto Insurance for lots of good reasons, like low down payments and easy monthly terms. Call Amstate Auto Insurance, 362-9788 or 835-3445.
That's our story. 3:29 to play first quarter, and the Shaw Eagles have a commanding 21-0 lead, which makes them happy. Ken Trahan along with Henry Rando. And Mike Arnold remains busy. He'll kick it off here, and now Washington is deep to receive once again for Covington. And again, they pitch it to Washington. And again, he's in trouble.
Well, so far, Washington has gotten back to the 20, was his best return. This time he's on the 19-yard line. Ken, and Ike Wilson is the leading carrier for the Shaw Eagles. He's carried the ball 5 times for 64 yards tonight thus far.
Colby McCullough, Chad Bairnsfather on the stop for Shaw. And this, friends, is a critical possession for the Covington Lions. Down 3 touchdowns already with 3:23 to play first quarter. And Paul Nixon is in the game on this possession. Interestingly enough, we didn't see him on the first series. He's in there now, and I can assure you he'll get into action very quickly here. He dots the I behind Patrick Alexander. Mike Rogers, number 15, the senior quarterback. Twin receivers on the right side on first down, and here's Paul Nixon for the first time. Nixon looking for somewhere to go, but nothing there. Trying to cut back, but it just wasn't any room as the tackle was made by number 40, Robert Ballier, for the Shaw Eagles. Ballier, 5'11", 195 pounds, and a senior.
One of the nice things about that particular play is that there was a trap to this side of the line of scrimmage, up to the left side of the line of scrimmage, but Nixon chose to go the other way, and I thought that was an interesting choice.
Gain of 1 officially. 2nd down and 9 yards to go for the Lions. Rogers rolling. And almost intercepted by Chad Bairnsfather. Intended for Ron Michel, but Bairnsfather read it perfectly and almost had it.
Well, you're going to see it's a flood route to the left. And he just underthrows the ball. Rogers does, and it's almost intercepted by Chad Bairnsfather. Another junior on this Shaw football team, and this is exactly what Covington can't afford to do, and that is to give Shaw another cheapie.
Got to look at Chad, the brother of Brian and Scott, who have played here previously. It's a family affair at Shaw. What a tradition they're establishing. A 3rd down and 9 yards to go, and a power I formation, interestingly enough, as the wingback Michel is part of that configuration. The fake, Rogers escapes one man, gets the pass off, and it is incomplete. In the double coverage, and a punting situation for the Covington Lions, intended for Marcus Williams, 84. Ryan Robinson was back there, along with Bairnsfather, and Eric Dumas will punt it away.
Well, so far, it's been a long, long first quarter for the Covington Lions.
Interrell Chester will be deep to receive. High snap, he pulls it down. End over end, and Chester will have time. He can fly. He slips on the cutback, and a flag is down, and Chester is down at the 37-yard line in Covington territory, but again, a flag down, and will likely work against the Shaw Eagles.
Well, the tackle was made by 53 Darryl Collins.
And
what do we have? What do we have?
15 yards for clipping.
Clipping.
So 15 yards against the Eagles will mark this one back into Shaw territory, where the Eagles will start their possession at about their own 45-yard line with 2:26 to play in the first quarter. 21-0 Shaw. Now, we talked about the scrimmage in the spring, and we fully expected things to be different tonight. They haven't been so far, but this one's long from over. 60-16 if you were keeping score in the spring.
Well, Ken, I saw that game. It was 44-0 at half.
Joseph off the fake, in trouble. He's hit as he throws, and the pass goes incomplete. Joseph took a good lick from Demetrius Montana, the outstanding inside linebacker and captain, and he almost completed it nonetheless as he got it out there toward Dennis Griffin. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Montana studied from his linebacker position. It's the first time that they've brought the linebackers, and it was quite successful to put a little pressure on Joseph here. And then you're going to see a lot more of that. I really believe that Covington's going to just have to put their ears back and let the pigeons loose here and really go get them.
Sprint draw. This is Kendall Bussey. Across midfield into Covington territory to about the 49-yard line. In the arms of number 51, John Savarese, the junior. It'll be 3rd and 4.
Just a sprint draw right here to Bussey, and Bussey's going to come on up in there and find a little running room. Picks up about 7-8 yards here and puts Shaw in a good position, a 3rd and about 4, which would be a normal.
Chester the lone setback now, and the receivers on either side, and Bussey in the slot. Quick drop, Joseph in and out of the hands of Dennis Griffin. A little bit off the mark, and he had a lot mustered on that one, perhaps too much, and the Eagles will have to punt for the very first time this evening.
Well, Ken, he was there. There's no question about it. Again, it was just a little quick turn in right past the stick so they could get the all-important 1st down. So the Eagles are going to be punting. There's Coach Tierney talking to Vance and telling him, you know, you got to take a little bit off the football. Relax a little bit, take a little bit off of it. You don't have to throw the ball through the guy.
This is Johnny Fayard punting. This is Rogers. To the 22-yard line, and Covington will have it there with 1:31 to play in the first quarter, trailing 21-0. We got to look at Mike Rogers there. He's a solid player, good athlete, a good return man, as we had a chance to see him briefly there as we look at the Covington offensive line. Riley, Brock, Fauntleroy, Rogers, Sharp, just a sophomore, perhaps the best lineman. And a look at the backfield. Shell, the wingback. Alexander, Paul Nixon, the outstanding tailback who has to get into this ball game.
And Kenny, that's an experienced backfield for Covington. They have an inexperienced line, but that's a backfield that played all last year.
And they run the quarterback sneak with Rogers. Rogers across the 25 to about the 26-yard line. Rogers brought down by Nick Walker, the 5'11", 240-pound junior tackle. He's been plagued by some injuries this year, but he's a fine player.
Ken, we're going to look at it right now. You're going to see Coach Salter over there, and I'm sure he's thinking right now, how can he get his lines back into this ball game? We're still in the first quarter. We have a minute or so left to go in the first quarter. Shaw with a 21-0 lead here. Coach Tierney, all he wants to do is keep his intensity the same as it was when it started this football game.
Three-man backfield, and they give to Nixon. Nixon gets away from one man, but not the second. Maybe 2 yards for Paul Nixon, as again, Nick Walker on the stop for the Eagles.
Again, you're going to see number 5 right in here, though. David Lightfoot comes in, misses the tackle. Walker hangs on, gets some help in there by number 45 and number 40. That's Robert Valet.
Shaw cheerleaders, and give credit to Walker there. One-arm job there. He managed to stop the progress, and that's got to be a strong young man to be able to do that.
Well, that's a credit to the weight program at Archbishop Shaw, which I really think Shaw has really had a great reputation over the years of being a good physical football team, and this team is no exception, Ken. They really do have a fine group of football players, and to the demise of the other teams in the Catholic League, he's also a junior-laden football team.
Ryan Robinson with an equipment problem, and Avery Stemmons is on the field to replace him on 3rd down and 4. So let's see if they perhaps attack the relatively inexperienced Stemmons here. Rogers rolling, wants to keep. Has a couple of lead blockers, gets a good block, but he is short of a first down. Outstanding pursuit by the Eagles, and it's a punting situation. Troy Falterman, 29, was out there for Shaw, as was Valier once again. And it'll be 4th down and 1, and the first quarter has come to a close on the West Bank at Haas-Memphis Stadium. Number 1 Shaw Eagles with a commanding 21-0 lead over the Covington Lions. And we'll be back with second quarter action right after this.
Security, the quality or state of being secure. Freedom from fear or anxiety. That's what Fayard Insurance is all about. If you're in the market for automobile, home, commercial, or life and health insurance, Fayard Insurance is the only name you need to remember. Fayard Insurance, one of New Orleans' top full-service agencies, specializes in automobile insurance. They offer honest, knowledgeable, personal service at low competitive prices. Let Fayard Insurance tailor your next policy to fit your needs with a flexible down payment and easy monthly notes. Don't get lost in the hustle and bustle of bigger insurance agencies when Fayard Insurance can work with you individually before and after the sale. Fayard Insurance also offers title transfer service to save you time and hassle. Fayard Insurance Agency, 5421 Lapalco Boulevard in Marrero. Call 340-8616. That's 340-8616 for a free quote.
Second quarter of action about to get underway. The Shaw Eagles on top 21-0. Ken Trahan along with Henry Rando. It's a 4th down and 1 situation. Not a bad spot for a fake when you're down by 21 points. And here's an interesting alignment. Now they drop the punter Dumas back. There are 3 men standing 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, but they will punt nonetheless. Chester is deep. And over end, fielded at the 37. Chester with room. He has a hole, and he almost gets there into Covington territory to about the 45-yard line. You can see the seam there, and he darn near got there in time.
Kenny, if he'd have broken right there, it'd have been 6 more points. I guarantee you. First quarter, Shaw, you're going to see it right here on the screen right now. Chester's going to get the ball, and you're going to see if he just kind of hits this seam right there, he's going to go because he's got a blocker out in front of him out there, number 70, Mike LeBlanc, and I guarantee you he'd have gone all the way.
Nick Walker, 70, of course, and credit to Edward Ramsey for the stop, but Shaw with great field position again. Joseph gets away from a tackle. He's at the 40. He's got a first down at the 33-yard line. Boy, what a run by Vance Joseph. In trouble in his backfield. the escape artist, Vance Joseph.
Well, ironically, you know, right now, Joseph is 0 for 4 passing, but the Eagles have certainly done a great job on the ground. They have 14 running plays for 134 yards. Covington, 7 running plays for just 28 yards.
Unbalanced numbers, and unbalanced numbers on the scoreboard as well. Eagles from the 34-yard line. Big hole for Wilson. Oh, and he's tripped up inside the 25 at about the 23-yard line, close to a first down. Demetrius Montana got a hand on him, as did Mike Rogers, who makes a touchdown-saving tackle.
Mike Rogers is in the ball game now, so Coach Salter's pulling out all the stops here. He's not going to really wait for anything to develop, or any more to develop. He's down 21-0. He's putting his best football players in the ball game as early as the beginning of the second quarter. There you see Joseph audibling on a line of scrimmage.
As he does often, from the 23-yard line, first down, 10 yards to go. This is Isaac Wilson, churning his legs, getting it inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line. They can't get him down. I'll tell you about the leg strength of this young man, who's going to continue to grow. You know that. He's already 5'10", 165, but just a sophomore, and what a player they're going to have for a couple of years to come.
Well, Kenny, if he becomes anywhere near the player his father was, he will be a great football player. His dad was a great running back right here in this stadium for the West Jefferson Buccaneers.
Ollie Wilson. Second down, 7 yards to go from the 20. Just underway, second quarter. Eagles threatening again. And this is Murray White. Murray White to about the 16-yard line. Tough going there. Chuck Saba on the stop.
You're going to see right here, Murray White's going to hit it up in there. A little counter play, counter dive. Demetrius Montana, number 45, in there making the tackle, along with number 11, Chuck Saba, from the safety position. And that's what you don't want to have happen. You don't want to have your secondary guys having to come in there and make all those tackles.
On third down and 3 yards to go. Joseph again, wide open, uses the block, but slips and falls inside the 5. At about the 3-yard line, and Jeff Chasson with the fine block. Chasson almost sprung Vance, who simply didn't keep his balance there.
You're going to see it here, just again, outside veer keep. You're going to see Chasson leading out in front, number 4 on the block. He just trips over Chasson's legs there and falls down. He gets a little help from number 23, Kyle Washington, but Shaw's knocking on the door again here.
First down, goal to go from the 3-yard line. Joseph keeps, Joseph scores. And it's 27-0 Eagles with 9:33 to play in the second quarter.
Kenny, you're going to see Joseph right here, fans. He's just going to take the ball from his quarterback position off the dive and cuts it in and really does a fine job of taking it in for the 4th score here. Here it is here. You're going to see the picture from the end zone. He just cuts it inside there right over Johnny Fayard, and he does a fine job of putting 27 points on the board here.
And the extra point attempt is up, and it is good once again by Mike Arnold. 9:33 to play in the second quarter. And you're seeing evidence of why the Shaw Eagles are the #1 team in the state. They lead the Covington Lions 28-0. We'll be back with more first half action right after this.
The best in high school football puts it all on the line, and Cox Cable will bring you the exciting action of the Gatorade Superdome Classic. The top teams from single, double, triple, and quad A schools will battle to find out who's the best in Louisiana. Cox Cable invites you to be a part of the action December 8th and 9th. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster, the Superdome ticket office of the Louisiana High School Athletic Association. Who's the best in Louisiana high school football? Find out at the Gatorade Superdome Classic December 8th and 9th. And don't forget to catch all the action on Cox Cable Channel 22.
Second quarter, and the Archbishop Shaw Eagles have a 28-0 lead over the Covington Lions. And who would have thought it would be this easy? But Henry, thus far, it's been pretty easy for the Shaw offense.
And I'm telling you, Kenny, I was watching during our break here. Coach Jack Salter is livid, and he's a kind of a low-tempered individual. He does not want to see his football team embarrassed tonight. He was really getting on some of his players that they better do something here. That program has a lot of pride.
Arnold kicks it off. Washington wants to field it and does at the 14. with a head of steam. He has room. Kyle Washington almost breaking it and up to about the 44-yard line. Excellent return there, and now you understand why they want the ball in his hands. Mark Livacari, number 44, on the stop.
Well, you're going to see it right here. He just breaks it in the middle, and you're going to see Livacari come on in and make the tackle. He almost breaks it here. Nice, really touchdown-saving tackle here on a kickoff return. The Shaw touchdown, Ken, was a 2-minute drive. It was a 3-yard run, 45 yards, 7 plays.
Very economical and very quick. 44-yard line, the line of scrimmage. And it's somewhat of a hole here across the 45 to about the 48-yard line. And that's the most running room Paul Nixon has seen thus far tonight. Picks up about 4 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Just a blast from his tailback eye position. And you see Nixon. And Nixon is a load. He's a good football player. Remember, that young man has rushed for over 1,000 yards, both his sophomore and this year his junior season.
Led the district 13 quad A in rushing for the 2nd straight year this year. Also led the district in scoring. He's quite a player. On the option, Rogers evades 1 tackler and is in Shaw territory to about the 47-yard line, where he's about a yard short of a 1st down. And it'll be 3rd down and 1.
That was Brett Adams on the tackle there from his inside linebacking position. To show you the dominance of the Shaw running game, the 2 running backs here, Joseph has carried 6 times for 73 yards, while Isaac Wilson, who's not even a starter, has carried 7 times, and there he is right there, has carried 7 times for 78 yards.
Full house backfield, power I formation on 3rd down and 1 yard to go. Rogers keeps, and Rogers appears to have a 1st down inside the 45 to about the 44-yard line. That's enough, and the Lions have something going here.
Well, you're going to just see a quarterback sneak by Rogers, and that's the first down for the Lions. With 8 minutes remaining here in the 2nd quarter, they're trailing 28-0. They need to get on the board right here.
Interestingly enough, we haven't called Pat Riley's name defensively yet. Of course, the Eagles haven't been on defense very often. On the 44-yard line. Howard pitch to Nixon, and he is caught and dropped in the backfield. Tremendous penetration by 45, Ruben Rodriguez, and number 40, Robert Valier.
Valier does a great job. You're going to see Rodriguez and Valier, both of these guys do a great job of eluding the tackle here, or the blockers here. Ruben Rodriguez and Robert Valier, super job. I mean, you can't play technique any better than what we saw right there. Outstanding job, fellas.
Loss of a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 12 yards to go. Receiver's right, and Rogers is rolling that way. Under pressure from Riley, gets away from him and throws it away. Well, the pass was intended for Nixon, who was absolutely blanketed out there by 29 Troy Falterman, but if Pat Riley, all the credit in the world, he messed that play up.
Well, you got a real strong rush in there by 41 and 77, Mueller and Riley. The thing is, Kenny, is that they're trying to run a flood pattern into the strength of the Shaw defense, and they're well covered. Nice job there. Rodriguez is sitting out there in the flat, and also Troy Falterman has also played an outstanding game in his outside linebacker position. He's at the top of your screen right now, Falterman. You see him on the slot back.
3rd down and 12 yards to go. Rogers in trouble. Again, gets away from 1 tackler and is drilled by Riley. At about the 43-yard line, Pat Riley introduces himself to Mike Rogers. And it'll be 4th down and about 8 yards to go.
And we're going to see it here, Ken. I really believe he heard you from up here, and you're going to see 41. Super job with the camera. 41 and 77, and they just put the crunch on the quarterback, Mike Rogers. So again, the Lions are in a punting situation.
And again, that 4-man formation about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Dumas will drop back. Eventually, they'll snap it to him, most likely, and he'll punt it away to Earl Chester. Spiral away from Chester. Good idea and an excellent kick. Out of bounds at about the 4-yard line. It's a terrific kick by Eric Dumas.
Well, that's a
40 yards and no return.
Yeah, that's a 40-yard kick. Good solid punt there. So Shaw now is backed up against their own goal here. They're leading 28-0. going to be interesting here, Ken. There's Coach Salter right there, and I'll guarantee you there's a lot of things going through that man's mind. He's been on the sideline for 27 years, and he's not been in this position too many times.
6:19 to play first half. The position he faces, a 28-0 deficit. He's got the Eagles pinned back at their own 4-yard line, and flags are down, and that'll cost Shaw half the distance for illegal procedure.
Well, the whole line jumped, so something happened there. All three guys moved at the same time on the left offensive side. You're going to see the official there, Mr. Rogers. He's going to give the illegal procedure signal against the Eagles. So we're going to play a half a distance to the goal penalty.
They've had a lot to cheer about this evening. First down and 12 yards to go now. Line of scrimmage, the 3-yard line. And Joseph to throw from his own end zone. Pump fakes, wants to go deep. Has a man out there. It's Chasson caught. Chasson dragging tackler inside Covington territory to the 45-yard line. Kyle Washington holding on for dear life.
Well, you're going to see it's a stop and go. Joseph pumps there, allows Jeff Chasson to make his move, and then he just lays it out there, and Chasson can run. The 6-foot, 165-pound junior just catches the ball right there over his shoulder.
And he drags Kyle Washington for about a 10-yard ride here.
Great call, Coach Tierney and staff.
Oh, you have to have confidence in your quarterback to call that. Your own end zone. Here's a flag on first down as Bussey across the 45 to about the 42, and that'll likely work against the Eagles for holding.
Well, usually when the umpire throws the flag from there, the umpire's got it stands right behind the defensive line. It's going to be a holding call against the Eagles, and they're going to have to play it now, a 1st and 20 approximately. So makes it a little tougher for them here, Ken.
With 5:52 to play in the quarter, second penalty against the Eagles here. So we look at the Shaw sideline. And a good look at Carlos Jones, great young speedster who has a future with this football team, perhaps at quarterback, perhaps at running back, perhaps at wide receiver. You're just lucky to have an athlete like that.
Good
and
football
Joseph
player
as well. Chasson wide right, wide left is Dennis Griffin on first down and 20 yards to go. Chester and Bussey are the running backs in this set. Joseph rolling with a lot of time, steps forward, throws, caught. And breaking a tackle, and there goes Griffin. 30, 25, and out of bounds. The leading receiver for the Shaw Eagles, Dennis Griffin, on a perfect throw from Vance Joseph.
Well, Ken, they came back. That was the play I alluded to early in the first quarter where they gave Griffin a real good cushion. He ran the 15-yard down and out. Again, he was wide open. This time, Vance Joseph took a little bit off the football, and the ball was laid right there, and Griffin put a little move on and was able to bring the ball down into the Covington territory.
Counter to Chester. Chester hit hard, driven back. Got to about the 23-yard line, about 3 yards, and Demetrius Montana makes the stop. There's John Forcade, our good friend, the Saints quarterback. John, of course, had himself a marvelous career here at Archbishop Shaw. Took his team to the state semifinals his senior season. We're losing a controversial game to a guy named Bobby Hebert down in South Lafourche.
Oh, absolutely.
Interestingly enough, they would meet years later. Compete for the same job on the same team. And on 2nd and 7 in the open, Kendall Bussey, 10, 5, out of bounds at about the 1. Kendall Bussey for 22 yards. While Washington and Eric Dumas drive him out of bounds. But boy, there have been some unbelievable holes.
You're going to see it here. Bussey just takes the ball on a veer, makes a little move here, picks up a block by the wide receiver, and he's just knocked out of bounds, Ken, on the 1-yard line.
I got to ask you, Henry, as a coach, we showed Vance Joseph checking off a number of times at the line of scrimmage. The dive, that's a read, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. He's reading that all the way.
Which, of course, means he saw the opening and gave it to Bussey, so you give Joseph just as much credit as you give Kendall Bussey.
And he's going to give it again if he reads it right here.
He gives it to Murray White, and he's standing in the end zone for a touchdown. And it's 34-0 Shaw. Murray White from a yard out.
You know, Kenny, we talked about the, the real fine backs of White and Chester and of course, Wilson and Bussey and Joseph. We alluded to what a great group of skilled kids. But I tell you right now, the Shaw offensive line is really a good unit.
No disputing that. And the extra point again is up, and it is perfect by Mike Arnold. This time there are no flags, so a timeout on the field with 4:46 to play in the first half. And the route is on. Shaw 35, Covington nothing. We'll be back with more right after this.
Security, the quality or state of being secure. Freedom from fear or anxiety. That's what Fayard Insurance is all about. If you're in the market for automobile, home, commercial, or life and health insurance, Fayard Insurance is the only name you need to remember. Fayard Insurance, one of New Orleans' top full-service agencies, specializes in automobile insurance. They offer honest, knowledgeable, personal service at low competitive prices. Let Fayard Insurance tailor your next policy to fit your needs with a flexible down payment and easy monthly notes. Don't get lost in the hustle and bustle of bigger insurance agencies when Fayard Insurance can work with you individually before and after the sale. Fayard Insurance also offers title transfer service to save you time and hassle. Fayard Insurance Agency, 5421 Lapalco Boulevard in Marrero. Call 340-8616. That's 340-8616 for a free quote.
Side of the stadium, the Archbishop Shaw side, and a happy bunch of folks they are. Their Eagles lead at 35-0. 4:46 to play in the half. Mike Arnold to kick it off to Washington once again. And this is a familiar sight, becoming all too familiar for Covington. And this time, Loomis will keep it himself. First time we've seen that, and he does all right to about the 34-yard line and stays on his feet. And Covington will have it at their 34. Well, we've talked about must possessions as far as scoring are concerned. I think Covington's past that point at this point.
Absolutely. That last drive, Ken, was a 7-play, 97-yard drive. It consumed only 1 minute and 38 seconds off the clock. So Shaw is in a comfortable position here. And you mentioned about a familiar position about kicking off. You could almost let her on the kickoff team.
I'm telling you. Michelle is wide left. Marcus Williams wide right on first down and 10 yards to go. And they run the counter with Nixon. Nixon, not a whole lot. Maybe 3 to the 37, possibly the 38-yard line. With just a lot of green shirts, a lot of traffic, and the charge led by number 44 for the Shaw Eagles. And that is Mark Livicari. And it'll be 2nd down and 7. So Livicari is in there now as the Eagles have made a few changes defensively. Not many, just a couple.
Well, I think that's a good move on Coach Tierney's part to put a few guys in there between some veteran players to give them a chance to get some experience here in a state playoff game, which you just can't buy this kind of experience.
Hauk is way out on the right side on 2nd down and 7 yards to go. And Mike Rogers gives it straight ahead and driven straight back on a ferocious hit to Alexander. And give credit on the hit to number 16, Bruce Wallace.
Well, that's a new guy. You're going to see it right here. They're in an unbalanced line, and Wallace just comes in. I mean, he puts a major league hit on Nixon there. You're going to see the Shaw bench there. There's the Shaw Eagles. Some of the offensive linemen.
Yeah, what a job they've done.
Fellas got to keep it up. You got 2 halves to every football game. Just remember that.
Kendall Bussey, a happy young man, as well he should be. 3rd down and 5 yards to go now from the 39-yard line. Nixon in motion. Rogers rolling right. He's in trouble, and he is hit, and he's down. He is nailed, and there are flags down. Sean Jones got the big hit. Livicari was there as well. Riley was around the football. Jones with a big hit, however. And the flag is going to be face mask, I do believe, against Shaw. No, it's against Covington. Face mask against Covington. Boy, when it rains, it pours.
Well, you're going to see it here. Paul Rogers has nowhere to go. He's getting a lot of pressure there by Riley. A lot of pressure by number 88, Big Sean Jones. He's playing really a good football game tonight. Number 88, Jones, really puts a good lock on him. Let's see what's happening
here. And you
saw
a hand on the face mask of Rogers, and the face mask is going against Shaw, I do believe. Let's see it. Oh, wait a minute. Now they've marked off a penalty one way. All right, here we go. Face mask Shaw.
So it's a 5-yard grabbing the face mask.
Grabbing the face mask, but obviously it had to be dead ball because the line of scrimmage is almost exactly the same.
Right.
So from the spot of the sack, all right, now an explanation. Boy, I'd sure like one, because this penalty was marked off 5 yards from the spot of the sack, which was back at the 33-yard line. Now the line of scrimmage is at 38, and that's what it was prior to that play. Bear with us as they discuss it. The crew from Baton Rouge. 3:06 to play in the first half. This Covington team was picked 3rd in the district, and of course they ended up as tri-champions and represented the district as district champions over a fine Slidell team that we saw last week and over Bogalusa as well. Boy, they're having fun. Shaw, the undisputed champion of 11 Quad A, and how often does a team win 11 Quad A with a 2-game margin? I mean, it doesn't happen very often, does it?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You know, they've only lost 2 district games in the last 3 years, and that's to St. Augustine when they won the state championship, and last year to Jesuit.
3rd down and 6 yards to go. Rogers looking, throwing, and caught up around midfield. That'll be a first down. And a good job of rolling and throwing by Rogers as he hits Ben Houck, the senior, split in at midfield.
Well, you're going to see Rogers here. He sprints out to his left, does a nice job of squaring his shoulders up, laying the ball out there. Ben Houck, the senior wide receiver, makes the catch and the first down.
Jack Salter looking on pensively, hoping his team can get something going here. Good field position and plenty of time with 2:38 to play in the half.
Well, he needs 7 points bad.
Any points would be well advised at this point. This is Michel, the wingback, trying to follow his block, but he is hit, still on his feet, and finally decked. I'm not even sure he got back to the line of scrimmage. Good effort by Michel, but just not enough there. And again, it's the reserve, number 16, Bruce Wallace, on the stop.
And you're going to see right there the reverse to Michel. Nice play there by Rodriguez, but he misses the tackle. He just doesn't wrap up in there. You're going to see several Shaw men come into the picture there, but they really got nothing out of the thing. They're playing 2nd and 10, and right now the clock is also against the Covington Lions with just 1 minute and 45 remaining here in the second quarter.
And ticking. This is Michel in motion. Rogers hits Michel for a first down. A big hit put on Michel, a big hit put on Rogers, but a great connection nonetheless. Barnsfather on the stop, but a good throw here.
It is. It's a nice toss. You're going to see right here Michel come into your picture, and number 14, Chad Barnsfather, puts a real nice hit, comes up from his cornerback position.
Shaw sending some first unit players back out there now, and a fumble of the snap by Rogers. A flag is down. It'll likely be procedure on Covington. The Lions did recover with 1:20 to play in the half. That's the last thing Covington needs now, is a turnover of any sort or a mistake. It'll be procedure against the Lions, I am sure. Now motion, 5 yards. That'll spot the football back at about the 43-yard line. And it'll give the Lions a chance to regroup and gather as we have a timeout on the field with 1:20 to play in the half, and both teams head for the sideline, so we'll take a break as well. Timeout with 1:20 in the first quarter. Our score, first half rather, and the Shaw Eagles lead the Covington Lions 35-0. We'll be right back. First down, 15 yards to go, Covington from the Shaw 43-yard line. This is Michel in motion. Rogers rolls that way. Under pressure from Raleigh, gets away from him and runs. He is hit down to about the 38-yard line, back to about the original line of scrimmage, and that'll keep the clock running with 1:08. And rolling.
Well, you're going to see right here, number 41, Raleigh, just comes in and misses the tackle here. Rogers runs, keeps the ball, and from the backside in, Robert Valley makes the play.
Robert Valier, outstanding player. And again, a timeout call with 1:03 to play in the half. We'll keep it right here. It's 35-0 Shaw. Now we talk about matchups. The Shaw Eagles appear well on their way to victory here, Henry, and should the Eagles win here tonight, they would go on to play the winner of the Thibodeau-West Jefferson game. If you had to pick a favorite in that one, Thibodeau would have to be considered a slight favorite, but the Bucks are playing their best ball of the season right now, and what a matchup that would be if Shaw and West Jeff got back together.
There's the packed stands of the Shaw Eagles. They have a great crowd here, and they really follow their football team. Very solemn sideline. The St. Tammany Covington lines. And they need something here, right, to go in before the halftime to kind of get them perked up a little bit. And I'm sure that's exactly what Coach Salt is saying is that, hey, fellas, you know, we want to get 7 here, and we want to then go into the locker room, regroup, see what happens in the second half.
Well, they're capable offensively. They've averaged 28 points a game since their 2 opening losses, as their offensive line has really come together, and have gotten great production from Paul Nixon. Rogers, the quarterback, a nice, steady player who's done a fine job. This is Nixon in motion on second down. Rogers rolling, stopping, throwing, and almost intercepted by Bairnsfather. Rogers made a mistake there throwing into triple coverage. Bairnsfather, for the second time this evening, has one and go in and out of his hand.
Right, he's trying to run before he catches the ball. You're going to see it here, Kenny. You know, just a soft toss there by Rogers right into his hands, but he's trying to run and trying to catch the ball on the side instead of just catching the ball with his hands face up, making the catch first before he runs. He really is a nice cornerback. He's got nice range, nice height, 6'2", 185, a junior. Just got to catch the football.
That's right. Third down and 10 yards to go. 59 seconds to play in the half. Nick Walker has Rogers at about the 47-yard line. Sack for Walker. And it'll be 4th down and about 20 yards to go.
You're going to see great pressure here by number 70, Walker, and he just wraps up and just hugs Mr. Rogers and says, come on with me. Another one of those talented juniors, too, Ken.
And interestingly enough, Shaw takes time out here with 37 seconds to play. We'll take a break. 35-0 Eagles. We'll be back with the conclusion of our first half right after this.
It's not every orchestra that dares to go on tour with an all-American program or an all-20th century program.
The New York Philharmonic has, to standing ovations throughout Europe. A&E's stage brings it all home for American Music Week with a dynamic evening of music by our country's greatest composers, conducted by Leonard Bernstein. From Gershwin to Copland to the conductor himself, a celebration of American Music Week, only on A&E.
A master of the sweet science versus the hands of stone. Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran are ready to rumble one more time. Duran won the brawl in Montreal, then Sugar crushed the hands of stone. December 7th, Top Rank presents the rubber match. Leonard, Duran, free.
Covington band preparing to perform at halftime. We'll see them. Right now it's 4th down and 18 yards to go. Dumas is dropping back into punt formation inside his own territory here. And he will kick it away. End over end, fair catch called for and taken at about the 14-yard line by Ryan Robinson. And with 31 seconds to play at your own 14-yard line, you'd have to think the Eagles will just try to run the clock out here.
I'm sure they will. I was kind of surprised that Covington didn't go for it there.
Likewise. Of course, on the other hand, as we see with 31 seconds to play, it's 35-0, and every time Shaw's touched the football, with one exception, they've scored, and to give them the football near midfield might be curtains for Covington. So you can well understand Jack Salter's decision there. On first down, Dave Carlos Jones is in the game at quarterback, and for the first time, indeed he is. And this is Chester escaping tackle, still on his feet. Earl Chester across the 25 to about the 28 for about 14 yards. What a run. And again, just illustrating the tremendous backs that Shaw has.
Well, you're going to see the outside linebackers stunted there. Both outside linebackers came from the defensive end positions, and Shaw was able to run the ball inside, and that was the success of that play with Chester.
Carlos Jones, 5'11", 160 pounds, a sophomore, has seen a lot of playing time this year. Runs the straight sweep. A flag is down, and Jones is in the open. He's at the 40. He is down at about the Covington 40 with 4 seconds left, but there is a flag down on the play. As Chuck Saba comes over to perhaps make a touchdown-saving tackle. We'll check the flag. Holding against the Eagles will negate things here, but it just isn't supposed to be that easy.
Well, you're going to see it right here. He just takes the ball, cuts up, and really does a nice job. Jones has got a really nice gait on him. He can run that football, Carlos Jones, and he's another young player that people are going to have to reckon with for the next 2 years.
Well, you saw Mike Rogers, 15, right at the line of scrimmage, seemingly with the quarterback Jones in his sights. But he just couldn't get a handle on him, and Jones broke it for naught as the holding penalty puts it back at the 18-yard line with 4 seconds left. And the Eagles don't even have to run a play. 2 seconds, 1 second, and halftime has arrived. Mercifully for the Lions here at Haas-Mensa Stadium. It's been a one-sided contest. The Shaw Eagles, ranked number 1 in the state, lead the Covington Lions by the score of 35-0. We'll be back in just a moment. Bob Pavlovich will join us as he'll host our halftime show. And you'll get a chance to hear from Commissioner Tommy Henry of the LHSAA. Don't go away. Eagles on top, 35-0.
A master of the sweet science versus the hands of stone. Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran are ready to rumble one more time. Duran won the brawl in Montreal, then Sugar crushed the hands of stone. December 7th, Top Rank presents the rubber match. Leonard, Duran, Bree.
And it's halftime here at Haas-Memphis Stadium in West Jefferson. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Pavlovich. Kenny Trahan and Henry Rando will be back with the second half action as the Shaw Eagles continue to take on the Covington Fighting Lions. Right now we're looking at the Covington Fighting Lions as they're getting ready to step out onto the field to entertain this crowd here on the west bank of Jefferson Parish. Let's go ahead and give them a listen. Enjoy some of the music and the precision of this fine marching band. Again, that's the Covington Lions, the Fighting Lions marching band. Over 40 members strong in the band itself. Their flag team getting set to perform as they get through their next exercises. And you're watching the marching band and drill team from the Covington Fighting Lions joining us over here on the West Bank of Jefferson Parish. Coming up here on the prep game, playoff game between the Shaw Eagles and the Covington Lions, we'll hear about the Gatorade Classic from the LHSAA Commissioner, Tommy Henry. Stay with us.
State Auto Insurance has financing available with as low as 10% down and free telephone quotes available now. If you drive, having liability insurance is the law. Make it a law you can live with. Call State Auto Insurance for low down payments and easy monthly terms. State Auto Insurance, 362-9788 or 835-3445. Everyone's going to State Auto Insurance for lots of good reasons, like low down payments and easy monthly terms. Call State Auto Insurance, 362-9788 or 835-3445.
With me right now in the Superdome is Tommy Henry, the commissioner of the Louisiana High School Athletic Association. Tommy, I see we're already getting ready for the Gatorade Superdome Classic.
That's right, Rick. We are, this whole season has been pointing toward the state championship for the schools. I guess that's why one of the reasons they play, to find out who's the best in their respective classes. And now they're trying to see who will travel the road to the Superdome and end up here in the Superdome in the 4 state championship finals on Friday and Saturday, December 8th and 9th.
Tommy, let me say that each year it seems like the Classic gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and of course we're in the Superdome this year. What kind of year are you expecting this year?
Well, this is will be our 9th year to play our state championship finals in the Dome, and of course this is the Super Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, all rolled up into one state championship event for our young people and their coaches and spectators, and we're very proud of this event. Not many states have this opportunity to play the state championship in a place like the Louisiana Superdome, and so it has grown, it has gotten bigger. We're very proud of it, and we're looking for a great year this year. We've added some things like we're going to televise all 4 games through Cox Cable on the of the state championship event. That's the first time we've ever done that with our Superdome Classic. Of course, Gatorade is back as our major sponsor, and we've added a major sponsor in Shoetown. And we've got an event, a giveaway plan there. And we've got the all-state dance team will be here. Plus, the best high school football, state championship football, anywhere we feel like in the nation is played in Louisiana, and it'll be here on December the 8th and 9th.
Tommy, how do you feel? You've got 2 teams this year, Shaw being one of them, which we're watching right here tonight, that is rated #1 in the state, number 18 in the nation. How does that make you feel? And that's not the only team, I understand, you have nationally certified or with a rating.
Well, I don't really look at a lot of ratings and rankings because we're busy throughout the year, but I hear this and I notice this and that. I think John Curtis at one.
And a fine job on the coverage by number 27, Avery Stemmons, who did not go for that outside move. Makes the stop, and Covington will have it at the 27-yard line. Melvin Simon, he's a load, isn't he?
What a great-looking tight end.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's exactly what I was saying. Hank Tierney, Hank and I talked about that the other day at the press conference, and he was foaming at the mouth saying, well, what I could have done with this kid.
Well, he really was going to play football when he first came, and then just chose to play basketball.
Well, there's no question he made a wise decision.
Well, obviously he did. Yes, he did.
Could you have ever passed up a kid like that when you were coaching him?
No.
You'd have done anything it took. 3 wide receivers set for Covington here on first down, and nowhere to go. A loss, if anything. Paul Nixon, the ball carrier, and Nixon is completely shut down as number 77 comes up to make the stop, and it'll be 2nd down and long. It's Mike Muller.
Yes, and you see the counter play here, Ken, and just a lot of penetration by the Shaw defense. You see Muller making the tackle. You also see coming in there Livacari as well as Pat Riley. So the first down was totally unsuccessful for Covington, and again, they've got to get something on. They've got to throw the football. They can't sit down in there in a power eye.
2nd down and 10 yards to go. Rogers fakes. Rogers pitches. Michelle has it, and he's down. About 2 yards, but again, green shirts everywhere. The pursuit is there. Mike Muller was out there once again, along with number 5, David Lightfoot, for the Eagles, and it'll be 3rd down and 8 yards to go.
The option has never been the game of Jack Salter. Jack Salter is not an option football coach. He's a smash-type football coach. They're going to physically beat you in the trenches, and so far tonight, that has not been Covington's game, really. It's been Shaw all the way.
On 3rd down and 8. Rogers rolling, throwing, and incomplete, in and out of the hands The intended receiver, number 85, Yancey Riley, up around the 41-yard line. Ryan Robinson on the coverage, and Covington will have to kick it away.
Right, and Kenny, what's so really discouraging here is that you go in at halftime, you try to set up something, you try to get something going, you get your guys all pumped up, and you come out 1, 2, 3, and you have to punt the football. Your guys start to second-guess themselves here and start saying, wait, what's going on?
Shaw with a 10-man line. They may be coming after Dumas here as Chester is deep to receive for the Eagles. Gets it off under pressure. Not much of a bounce. It'll be down to about the 40-yard line, and Shaw will put it in play. Good field position. First possession of the second half. It will be interesting to see how long Vance Joseph plays in the second half, if at all. I believe Carlos Jones is going to get the start at quarterback here in the second half, and indeed he is. There he is, trotting on the field. And there's Vance Joseph, perhaps through for the night.
Well, I think that's real interesting because, you know, what I'd want to do here is I would want to keep my team up and have the intensity here. Even though I'm ahead 35-0, I don't want my guys to go to sleep and think it's over.
White and Bussey, the running backs. This is White, and Demetrius Montana throws him straight back. Montana was there. Outstanding job defensively by Demetrius, along with Joseph Honore, number 87, and it'll be second down and long.
Just a little power play by the Eagles here. Kick out there by Bussey. Nice play by the Lions defense.
Montana with good leg drive there. Good tackling posture, and he finishes tackle. Studious Eagle, second down, White. To about the 48-yard line as he picks up about 6 yards. Murray White, probably the least flashy of the Shaw running backs, and yet he led this team in rushing most of the season.
Well, he's more of a straight-ahead runner than Bussey or Chester is.
Or Wilson, yeah.
Or Wilson, right. He's not the type of guy that's going to give you a lot of moves. He's going to get it up in there, and he's going to run hard and get that 3 for you.
That's what he's got to make here. Third down, 3 yards to go, Eagles, from their own 48-yard line. Carlos Jones straight ahead for first down yardage into Covington territory is Kendall Bussey to about the 47-yard line, and that was a good read by Jones.
And nothing fancy there, just a straight dive by Kendall Bussey, number 34, the big junior fullback, 6'3", 215.
9:03 and counting here in the third quarter. 35-0. Shaw on top, and they play first down from the Covington 47-yard line. And again, straight ahead, Bussey. It's wide open. Kendall Bussey. Look at the speed for the fullback. To have a guy that big with that kind of speed, that's frightening.
Well, he did a nice job on the cutback. He really did. And he put a real great move on number 23, Kyle Washington, who recovered eventually to knock him out of bounds. But Kendall Bussey just broke it on the cutback give off the veer offense, and Shaw is down to the 10-yard line. You're going to see it right here. Bussey makes a nice cutback right there and puts a move once he gets in the secondary. He puts a little jug move on right there on 23 on Washington. He's able to get back outside. There you see Washington take the fake. Washington has good enough speed, though, here in Eric Dumas to knock him out of bounds.
On the option, Jones pitching to Bussey. Bussey is brought down by the ankles on a fine open field tackle. Coming up to make the stop from the secondary position for the Covington Lions. Pick out, look like number 11, Chuck Saba. Saba on the stop, and a fine stop it was. He really may have saved a touchdown. Gain of 1 for Bussey, second down. Call it goal to go. The 10-yard marker is right at the goal line, so they really cannot make a first down here. It's a long goal to go situation for Shaw. Wide side of the field, the right side. And Bussey, maybe 2 yards, and that's all. To the 7, it'll be third down and goal.
Bussey over the right side for a gain of 2.
What you're going to see here is just a straight dive. And a nice defensive play by the Lions. They're able to converge and really hold Shaw in there and force him into a third and about 7. The ball resting on the 7.
Now is Kenny Fauntleroy in defensively on the stop. He's playing both ways as Jack Salter's trying to get some effective people in there. Fauntleroy, the offensive tackle. So it's third down, goal to go, Eagles. And again, straight ahead, Bussey to the 5, and it'll be 4th down. And the question is, do you kick with a 35-0 lead, or do you go for it here? That's a tough decision to make as a coach.
Well, I think this, but you're in the state playoffs. There's going to be a time as you go down where you're actually going to need the field goal. But right here, we're not going to see it.
As the play comes in with Terry Joseph on the sideline on 4th and goal, just outside the 5-yard line.
And watch number 15, Joseph. He's a real fine receiver. Split out at the top of your picture.
On the roll, Jones looking for the corner. Can he get there? Yes. Touchdown, Carlos Jones. And a flag down. After the play, a little skirmish taking place there with Mike LeBlanc away from the play, and a Covington defensive lineman, and it might go against Shaw.
Well, the question is, was it after the touchdown or not? Whether or not they're going to assess the penalty if it was before the touchdown right now and move Shaw back, or penalize him on the kickoff.
It's either Fauntleroy or Sharp.
It was Fauntleroy.
Fauntleroy that was involved in that with Mike LeBlanc, the All-State player from a year ago. Personal foul against the Shaw Eagles. And that will not be post-possession, so I think they'll take the touchdown away here. That was totally away from the play as well. And we'll see the touchdown again.
And we're going to see it right here. Jones just outruns the secondary man there, number 16, Ron Michel.
Boy, and Hank Tierney is livid on the Shaw sideline. He does not agree with that call at all. I think he's probably saying that should have been a post-possession foul. The play was already taking place, and I'm also think he's wondering why it didn't go both ways. He is very unhappy. He's still on the field yelling. And now the field goal will be tried here, but Shaw will have to take a timeout because they took a lot of time here.
Eagles, led there by number 21, Keith Bennett.
Nowhere to go for Patrick Alexander. Falls forward for a couple, but he was hit immediately. Carey was there defensively, along with Nick Walker.
Kenny, let's go back to what you were saying. You know, that you felt that Shaw was the favorite here. But the thing that I think, and I think you'll agree with me, because of Covington's inability to move the ball, they just put too much pressure on their defense to contain a very potent offensive Shaw team.
Well, there's no question, and their defense has been totally unable to do so. 2nd down and 8 yards to go. In the flat, caught, 1st down. Midfield, close to it. Rogers doing the job as he gets it out to Ron Michel. And Michel has it right close to midfield at his own 49-yard line, and a 1st down Covington. Well, you know, coming in, and it certainly isn't a criticism, but you expected Shaw to be able to move the ball and score on Covington's defense, which is not as good as in years past. Covington's given up well over 600 yards in the last 2 games they played against good football teams. But as I mentioned, I thought the thing that would, that is most surprising to me after watching the first half is the fact that the Covington offense has been unable to get it going thus far. But I can assure you they have no quit in them. They've got a 1st down at their own 49-yard line. And a counter play, and nothing. And a flag.
Well, that's going to be
the ball carrier, and this flag in the vicinity of Yancey Riley, 85, and Burns' father. And this might work against Covington.
Well, that flag came in from left field.
It's a clip. Where would left field be on this particular configuration, by the way?
Right next to center.
Okay.
And across from right.
That's pretty good. There's baseball, folks.
Go, babe. Come, boy. Hiya, hiya.
Bo knows baseball. Bo knows football.
That's it.
Clipping. 34-yard line will be the line of scrimmage now. And it'll be an unenviable situation for Covington. 1st down and 25 yards to go. X's and O's, folks. The Eagles are still working.
It'll be 1st and 25.
Champions always work. They never stop working to improve technique, execution, plan. Well, isn't it fun as a coach, though, when those X's and O's you draw up come to fruition on the field? Rogers rolling, stopping, throwing, and incomplete. in the traffic. Looked like he's trying to get to Nixon, but threw it behind him. Yeah, a little disagreement on the sideline, the Covington side of the field, as Michelle got into it over there with Brett Adams.
And there's number 34, Kendall Bussey. So the officials restore order here, Ken, and we're ready to go.
And Hank Tierney will take Adams out of the game to prevent any possible flare-up. Adams is saying, I didn't have anything to do with it.
Not me, Coach.
That's right. And Bruce Wallace, who played very well, number 16 in the first half, is in to replace him. Second down, 25. 34-yard line. Rogers almost in a situation where he has to pass nearly all the time. Rogers rolling under pressure, runs into his own man, stops, throws, and it is incomplete. Scooped up on the short hop by Michelle. Good coverage by Barnsfather.
And you got to credit number 21, Keith Bennett, putting some nice pressure on the quarterback, Rogers. And that's what Shaw does real well. They do a very, very good job of rushing the passer. They don't lose containment at the defensive end on the corners.
Credit a good rush, number 16, Bruce Wallace, on the last play.
Now play will be stopped again. An official timeout here. A little equipment trouble for the Eagles. So we've got tape being unraveled and thrown away here by Keith Bennett, 21, who has to come out of the game as a result. And Shaw only has 10 players on the field for this play as a result. Should be someone open here. Rogers is in trouble, and he is hit way out of bounds. That's a late hit on the part of Riley, and that's a good call. No question that was a late hit. Rogers a couple of yards out of bounds when he took that big shot. And we should be able to see it pretty clearly that he was well out of bounds when he took the hit. That'll be a 15-yard penalty, a personal foul. Rogers, by the way, is up and he is fine.
Well, here we see it right here. You're going to see Rogers come right here to the camera. And he's going to step out of bounds right there. And he takes the big lick by number 41, Pat Riley.
No question, that was a good call.
Excellent call. And the officials out of Baton Rouge.
So the 15-yard penalty gives Covington an automatic first down. Well, there's how you convert a 2nd and 25. 3rd and 25. Riley comes out of the game after that play for Shaw. Covington from midfield, a sprint draw. Nixon evading one tackler, fighting hard to get to the Shaw 46-yard line for a gain of 4.
Carries to the 46-yard line. Brought down by number 21.
Just a little sprint draw to Nixon, and you're going to see Keith Bennett come on here, number 21. Makes the tackle, hangs on. Right there. Nice play by camera, people.
Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6 yards to go. And you really hope that this thing doesn't get ugly at any point here in the second half. Two class programs, you really wouldn't expect that would happen. Quick drop by Rogers. A lot of time, can't find anyone now. Throws complete to Michelle, slips a tackle. Nice move, he has a first down inside the 35 to about the 33-yard line. Good throw and catch, Rogers to Michelle, and Covington has something going.
Well, really got to give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They gave Rogers a lot of time here. Michelle makes the catch. You're going to see here number 46. Really, it's number 45 right there coming in there. That's Ruben Rodriguez that's going to come in there and make the tackle.
Good job by Michelle of making tacklers miss. He evaded the first 2 tacklers and has Covington 34-yard line, first down and 10, their best field position of the game. And this is the power sweep with Nixon. Nixon fighting through a tackle and getting to about the 30 for a gain of 4. And again, it is Ruben Rodriguez, 45 on the stop for Shaw.
Well, Covington's an unbalanced line this last play, and they run the toss sweep. Everybody ahead right there ahead of Paul Nixon.
Saw Barnesfather trying to strip the football there.
Yeah, he was in there grabbing. I'm sure when they look at the film tomorrow morning, Coach Tierney's not going to enjoy the grabbing, you know.
2nd down and 6 yards to go. Rogers with all kinds of time again, elects to run. Rogers puts his head down and drives close to a 1st down. Good job by Mike Rogers before number 21, Keith Bennett, can bring him down.
Brought down by number 21, Keith Bennett of the
Well, Bennett's playing a good second half here as a reserve player.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, it's invaluable experience. Well, that's wishful thinking on the part of the clock operator here on the West Bank, as they got the quarter listed as 4. When indeed it's only
There's
the 3rd.
been some games this year I wish we'd have had this guy.
Yes, yes. Actually, we won't mention which ones.
Well, we're going to see. We're right there, fans, as you see it. We get any closer.
Yeah, 3 inches, Richard.
There it is, 3 inches.
You heard that. That's right. You got the visual call and the audio call as well.
Exactly.
Down in the trenches. Boy, our guys are there, huh? They're ready.
Which could be 7.5 centimeters if we're in the metric system.
The Eagles' 24-yard line.
Got it.
Going to be 3rd and 1 for the Lions.
So it'll be 3rd down and a foot for the Covington Lions. As I try to stick within my mathematic geometrical mode here.
That's right. Remember, equidistant.
Equidistant.
I love it.
Acute angles, obtuse, 180 degrees, 90 degrees, and all this stuff. Rogers, 1st down. That'll move the chains as he gets it to about the 23-yard line.
Rogers on the quarterback seat carries the 1st down.
Well, this is the best drive of the night for the Lions.
All a result of the penalty on the late hit by Riley.
Right.
You know, it should be pointed out that Shaw had a 44-7 lead over Carver last week, and then went to the wholesale substitutions, and the 44-29, I think it was, the final score was very misleading as a result. We could well be in for that type of situation here. 38-0, and a fumble straight up in midair. Barnesfather picks it up. Barnesfather is loose, but he can't advance it.
He can't advance it. That's right. You can't advance it. Remember, we play NCAA rules, and you can't advance a fumble from a defensive position. But it does kill the best drive of the evening for the Lions, so the Eagles preserve their shutout so far here, leading 38-0 with 2:04 remaining.
He just bobbles the ball.
Right, he really never got a handle on the ball. The way he had his hands situated to get the ball from Rogers, Nixon never got it, and the ball just bounces right up into Chad Barnesfather, number 14's arms there. And of course, like I said, he can't advance a fumble.
And now Covington takes a timeout defensively. They only had 10 men on the field. And with 2:04 to play 3rd quarter, we'll take a break with our score. Archbishop Shaw 38, the Covington Lions nothing. We'll be right back.
Security, the quality or state of being secure. Freedom from fear or anxiety. That's what Fayard Insurance is all about. If you're in the market for automobile, home, commercial, or life and health insurance, Fayard Insurance is the only name you need to remember. Fayard Insurance, one of New Orleans' top full-service agencies, specializes in automobile insurance. They offer honest, knowledgeable, personal service at low competitive prices. Let Fayard Insurance tailor your next policy to fit your needs with a flexible down payment and easy monthly notes. Don't get lost in the hustle and bustle of bigger insurance agencies when Fayard Insurance can work with you individually before and after the sale. Fayard Insurance also offers title transfer service.
In this set, here's the option play. Jones keeps. Jones with speed. Look at the speed. Look at this speed. Out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. It's Carlos Jones. Kyle Washington, who has had to make all kinds of touchdown-saving tackles, does the same here.
And you're going to see the young man, the heir apparent to Vance Joseph, probably Carlos Jones, and he just outruns everybody on the Covington defense right down the left sidelines here. And you're going to see Kyle Washington come over from his safety position and knocks him out of bounds. The ball resting on about the 44-yard line of Covington.
41 yards on the carry. Chester spinning. Chester hit. He fumbles the football. And let's see who's got it. I think they called him down, and I didn't think he was down when he fumbled the ball.
No, I think he was just spinning around there. The ball was on the ground. He was just spinning.
Like Shaw recovered anyway, which would keep their possession. Gain of 2 second A, but you'll see he definitely fumbles this football.
Well, there he is spinning around, and he's spinning again. And the ball is definitely out.
Yeah.
I don't think the official saw because his back was to the official.
Right. Second down and 8 yards to go. And this time Isaac Wilson across the 40 to about the 38-yard line. Ike for about 3. It'll be third down and about 5.
And I really believe there's some of the Shaw starters right there. They got their capes on. I think Shaw's really contented to run the ball between the tackles here. They have a comfortable lead. The third quarter's just about over. He's got a lot of these young players in there, and I just don't think he wants to embarrass the Covington football team here.
Third down and a short 5. And this is Wilson. Cuts back. Isaac Wilson. First down. Is he still on his feet? Apparently so. And if so, he has scored. Touchdown, Eagles. What a run by Isaac Wilson. 37 yards out. Amazing balance by Isaac Wilson.
Well, I want to see this, Kenny, whether or not his knee touched. He hits it there. He makes a cut to his left. Nice play by Wilson. Gets in the secondary. And he's going to put a final move on right here. And you're going to see whether or not his knee touches.
No, it didn't. Did not appear to touch.
Oh, he's got his hand down. He puts his hand down as a good stumble drill. And he goes in for the score.
Tremendous balance by Isaac Wilson. And here's Arnold to try the extra point. High snap, gets away. Terry Joseph fields it, gets away from one man and is down. So the first extra point that fails, and it has nothing to do with the kicker, Mike Arnold. And a timeout on the field with 33 seconds to play in the third quarter. And Shaw is on the board again. They lead Covington 44-0. We'll be back with the conclusion of our third quarter right after this.
A master of the sweet science versus the hands of stone. Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran.
Played an outstanding second half. Been another young player that Coach Hank Tierney will have again next year. Dumas has not had a lot of running room tonight on the kickoff. There you see a real good hit. And Bennett hits like you're taught, real safe. You know, he's using his shoulder pads, gets behind his pads and helmet there. Excellent job.
So the Lions have it 1st and 10 from their own 30, and Rogers is rolling, wanting to throw. Pulls up, stops, throws deep for Michel, and it is caught, I do believe. No, incomplete. It spits out at the last moment. An excellent effort by Michel at around the 40-yard line. He was unable to pull it down. And the coverage on the play by Clarence Heigl, number 20. That's exactly how much time we have left here in the third quarter. And beautiful sight on the West Bank. 20 seconds to play third quarter, and I guess.
And the Shaw cheerleaders,
I guess.
They are number 1, and you're right, tonight, 44-0. They're number 1.
Second down, 10 yards to go, 30-yard line. Quick drop, slant, and almost intercepted. A good read by Heigl, but he could not hold on. Shaw's had about 3 or 4 of those.
Clarence Heigl, he's another young player, and I keep saying that. You're going to see, I'm tired of saying that. Shut it, did they have any old players? There you see Heigl come in from a safety. Nice job there.
And with 16 seconds left in the quarter, it's third down and 10 yards to go. Rogers rolling with time, throwing, and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Perfect throw, but Marcus Williams, 84, was unable to hold on up around the 45-yard line. Covington faces a punting situation here with 10 seconds to play in the quarter. Great trivia question coming up for you in just a few moments, Henry.
That's one thing you can't do as a coach, and that is you can't catch the ball for him.
Nope.
And, you know, Coach Salter is a great football coach and his staff and that, but the name of the game is HORSES.
Certainly that's the case tonight. Dumas. Griffin watches it bounce, and it'll be downed, and the third quarter will come to a close. All down at about the 25-yard line. Well, we played 3 quarters on the West Bank. Outcome not in doubt. Number 1 Shaw with a commanding 44-0 lead over Covington, and we'll be back with the 4th and final quarter right after this.
With many of his long-standing favorites, Harry Belafonte fills up the night with new, rhythmic, and exciting songs.
Find the card is quick. Please don't stop.
Spend a festive celebration with the King of Calypso in Global Carnival Sunday on A&E.
Minutes left to play in this one. 4th quarter just beginning. Shaw on top of Covington, 44-0. Ken Trahan along with Henry Rando from Haas-Memphis Stadium on the West Bank. Second round state playoffs. The winner to move on to the round of 8. Carlos Jones, the quarterback, his 3rd series of this game. On the counter play, new back in the game, maybe a yard.
Who is that masked man?
That's number 25, of course, and that's Mark Coates, the 5'7", 140-pound freshman in the game. Freshman.
And again, it was tackles made by number 45, Demetrius Montana, and he's had a long night on defense tonight.
Yes, indeed, but he's a player. He's had a great year, as has this Covington football team. Gain of 1 on the play. 2nd down and 9. And a big hole. And a 1st down and more to about the 43-yard line. That is Jay Tucker, a 5'9", 175-pound freshman. So a pair of freshmen in the football game in right now. And a 1st down.
Well, that's encouraging for future foes.
Well, I guess, huh? Now we're looking
at
those
freshmen. 2 guys run that are 9th graders.
Tucker and Coates.
I mean, they don't even have feathers yet, those kids.
No, that's right.
Like little fledglings.
And this is Tucker again across the 45 to about the 48-yard line. And Tucker is making about 4 yards on this one, and he is brought down by Blake Mendheim, the fine inside linebacker. Boy, the rushing is spread out. We see Tucker and Coates now. Jones, 1 carry, 39 yards. Isaac Wilson, 2 carries, 43 yards. Kendall Bussey, 9 carries, 77 yards. Murray White, 6 carries, 25 yards. We look at the X-rays of one of the Shaw starters. A hand problem, cast on the arm, as you can well see. Innerell Chester has also been in on the action tonight. Short yardage on 2nd down to about the 48-yard line in Shaw territory. As this time they give it to Coates, and they keep the clock moving. It'll be 3rd down and about 6.
Off Coates. So we're playing a 3rd and about 5. It is definitely a passing situation. It'll be interesting to see. Shaw has not thrown the ball in the 2nd half. They've been primarily just kept the ball and intended to keep the ball on the ground with this lead.
From the 48-yard line, 3rd down and a short 6. The pass from Jones dropped. Well, he got it out there to Chris Stipe, number 90, but Stipe could not hang on. Mom is definitely going to be watching, I can assure you, Pat. Innerell, Sean. Well, it's mom shot time.
Mom.
Poor dad, I'll tell you, man.
Don't have a shot.
Punt situation here. Arnold, the punter in this situation, hits it pretty good. And this is Ron Michel, and he's got nowhere to go. And a flag comes flying. What an arm. Oh, what a great flag. That might have been the best throw of the night. I wish we had an ISO on that.
That was center field now.
Wish we had an ISO on that.
That was definitely center field.
Deep center field.
All Murillo.
Like Bush Stadium center field, you know, like way out there. Oh, we get a good look at number 78, Chris Perry. Chris Perry, folks, is in the game for the first time. He is 6'10". He is 413 pounds. That's number 78, Chris Perry. And we have got to get a close-up shot of number 78 for the Covington Lions. You want to see big, this is big. And we're not talking Tom Hanks. And here comes the rain on the West Bank, folks. It's cold, and now we've got rain. And I don't have my umbrella.
That's amazing. It just came out of the clear blue.
Yeah, well, I didn't see any blue out there, but clear black, maybe.
Look, we're just getting
late.
Semantics, colors.
Well, that's right. We want to be correct here. So we state our case to the viewers. Straight up for 1 or 2. Second down at about 8. Oh, there he is right there. Look at Perry, 78. Boy, oh boy. Is he up there? Is he a mountain?
It's coming down, huh?
Oh, it's very light now. Let's hope it stays that way. Second down and 7. Rogers pump fakes. Wants to go deep to Michel, and it is intercepted. And he might go all the way. This is Clarence Heigl, touchdown. About 30 yards out, Heigl on the interception and touchdown, and the Eagles have hit the half-century mark.
Well, you're going to see Heigl right here. He gets himself in really nice position there. Gets in front of Michel, jumps, times the ball perfectly, does a real fine job, and he's able to pick up a couple of blockers there. Number 72, a nice block there, and he's down the sideline, and he just takes it in, and he is swamped there by his teammates, Clarence Heigl.
So Heigl is on the board. Shaw has hit the half-century mark, and Arnold would like to add 1 to that. And he does. 8:56 to play from Haas-Memphis Stadium. And this is not a typo, folks. It's Shaw 51, Covington nothing. We'll be back with more right after this.